Whoa, are you revving a Hellcat engine or are you preparing me a Haley Bieber Choco Monkey smoothie, Ty?
Actually, Eric, I'm doing both. I may be blending in the back of the Maybach, but if you have this blender, you can blend anywhere.
Wait a minute, you're telling me that this blender is battery powered and portable and lasts up to 15 blend cycles?
Hell yeah, brother, it lasts longer than me. This is the BlendJet 2, and it's better than a girlfriend.
Well, our breadheads don't have either, but they can use code BREADHEAD12 on blendjet.com to get 12 inches off this BJ and start blending in the bathtub.
Taking baths sounds a bit too zesty for me. By the way, this thing has free shipping and colorways that are giving me an insurrection.
Well, that's right, guys. It comes in Strawberry Manga Smoothie Red, Pixar Illegal Alien Green, and LG BLT Pride Rainbow.
Whether you want to blend in or stand out, get your 12 inches off at blendjet.com. Code BREADHEAD12. Hello, Blendheads. Welcome to another episode of Think Fresh Podcast. It is your hosts, Ty and Eric, global BlendJet ambassadors, here to mix up your mind with some fresh ideas.
Mixy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Eric. I have so much to catch up with you on this episode. We have a big episode in store for you, Breadheads. We got to talk about Eric and I's recent activations. We got to talk about my trip to Subway. We got to talk about our BlendJets. Where do you want to start, Eric?
Thanks for giving us the whole table of contents. So, the breadheads can pick and choose where they want to take a bite.
Yeah, we'll go back and we'll timestamp each section so that they don't have to waste time with this intro.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We can talk about how I made a herbs and cheese sandwich 2 days in a row.
Like at home?
Like at home.
Wow. Playing God.
Yeah, Bae got some, herbs and cheese bread. I was like working or something, and she came home with some groceries, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And I was like, did you go to Subway? She's like, no, I got you some bread and like some salami and whatnot. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. I made a sandwich, and I gotta say, it tasted exactly like herbs and cheese.
Really? Where did you find this? Like a bakery?
Yeah, it was like some European bakery deli over in Coquitlam somewhere. So, yeah.
Interesting. And how long was the bread?
It was probably 8 inches long. However, it was much wider.
Quiznos numbers.
What's that?
Those are Quiznos numbers.
Quiznos numbers. Quiznos is cutting corners where possible, but no, this was like it wasn't a hoagie style bun. It was more of a flat. It was like something in between a flatbread and a sub. It was actually kind of like disturbing at first, but
a flub.
But once I took that flub in my hands and sliced it down the middle, you know what I mean? I put it on my pan with some olive oil, toasted that bitch up, and made the thickest BMT sandwich. I had about 4 types of meat in there, and you already know I'm sampling each one as I'm making it too.
Dude, that's amazing. I love a homemade Subway sandwich. It always costs like $60 or $70, but it tastes that much better too.
That is true. Subway, people bitch about the price, but at the end of the day, it's actually cheaper to go to Subway if you think about the opportunity cost of you spending all that time cooking and cleaning.
And you also get like your fix of social, relational, conversational stuff whenever you go to the way, and it's just you in a solemn dialogue with your footlong if you're making it at home.
Whether you agree or disagree with this, it's based on how much you're making.
Dude, when you're making, yeah, I guess so. Fair enough. When you're making a footlong at home, do you ask yourself to put the ingredients on it? Are you like, can I get some more lettuce? And then you put a little more on?
Well, I don't really fuck around with vegetables at home, Ty. I'll be honest.
Meat and bread till you're dead?
Meat and bread, baby. And I also had a little olive tapenade, which I spread across, the bread on both sides. So I guess you count that as a vegetable.
I would.
That's about it.
Wow.
Hmm.
That sounds so salty. That's the
Yeah,
saltiest
it was
sandwich
delicious.
ever.
Yeah, I had this whole sandwich and then I took a 3 hour nap. I'm not even kidding. I had this at like 5:30 p.m. and I woke up at it's like 8:30.
Dude, I've been doing this to my own body too lately, where like last night I ate a fat ass bowl of spaghetti, just like a really thick spag bowl, homemade sauce. You know how it be. And
Hmm.
then I just had to like lay down afterwards. I thought, and my body got really warm. I felt like I was in a toaster oven,
Hmm.
and I just had to like relax because the digestion process is so. My body's out of touch. I never had this problem when I was like a twice a week Subway visitor because all your muscles are like trained for that. But I'm out of touch now. I'm like my engine's cold,
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
it's really tough.
Is it possible, Ty, that we're just getting old and like Subway is built for the young guns? I mean, not too young, okay, but
Yeah,
but
Jared.
it's built for a younger stomach, and we're just at the age now where we can't digest all this like sodium at the same time.
Dude, I think that has to be it because I'm getting a hangover from a footlong sandwich. That doesn't make any sense. What are they
You're
putting in that?
hungover.
Oh, there's something in that ranch.
Hmm. Anyways, Ty, I see that you have a small kitten in your possession. Can we talk about that really quick?
Oh yes, I'm role playing as a cat owner this weekend, Eric. I be sitting on a kitten, and it's very cute. It's 10 weeks old. It's the for the cat lovers on the call, the breed is toilet paper commercial, and um
Oh, it's like was that Cottonelle?
something like that. Yeah, it looks very wipeable.
Oh no, it's the oh, fuck. I know exactly what you're talking about. Royal. It's a royal one.
Yes. Hello, Royal. That's what I say whenever it walks in the room. Super cute. Doesn't do too much. It's more like it's kind of like a nice coffee table book. Like it looks like it could just sit on the coffee table all day and you just like look at it.
Hmm.
You know, it's like a like it should have the Celine logo on it.
Hmm. Yeah, I understand why rich people have like random ass pets because it's really just like a nice coffee table book. It's just like
Hmm.
an animated version of decoration.
It's just ornamentation that moves.
Exactly.
Like you would
um,
never name your lamp, but you get to like name this piece of furniture.
exactly. This piece of furniture has a personality,
hmm
and I'm
Barely.
not talking. And I'm not talking about like Instagram Explore page, Togo sofa or whatever that shit is called.
hmm Oh yeah, I do love me a Togo sofa, but I'd never be able to fit it in my apartment. Uh,
No way.
Cats and sandwich artists have one thing in common, Eric, which is that the stereotypes of their personality are actually their personality. Like they actually like I like the cat will do like cat things. I'm like, oh, that's your personality. Like you're just like all the other cats, you know?
Mm.
You're not
Can
bringing
you-
anything unique to this world.
Yeah, okay. Can you elaborate a bit more on that? How are sandwich artists like cats, Ty?
Think about the sandwich artist. Do you ever like encounter a sandwich artist that like has a unique perspective or um breaks the stereotypes that we've so clearly defined on this podcast? I don't think so.
Mm.
And the cats are the same way. Like you put a piece of string in front of a cat and it pounces on it. You walk up to a sandwich artist and they say, "Cheese and toasted."
You're right. They all are the same. And now that I think about it, like whenever they go to the back room, you ever just like take a peek into that back room? It's filled with boxes, and cats
Mhm.
love boxes.
Wow, they do.
It's pretty remarkable. I'm like they're hoarding all the boxes for themselves, and they have like a little fort back there or something. I'm not sure
hmm
what else that could be.
Just playing in the boxes. They both also have a weird like kink for tuna.
That's true. Why? What's this like fascination with tuna? Is it just because it like smells awful? So like animals like it? Like why do animals love stuff that smells like horrible?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like they don't have taste, you know? Taste in the like the more like curated sense of it. They don't
Hmm.
like dogs don't know what a good smell or a bad smell is. Sandwich artists are I'm a bit more forgiving of. because I think they're scent blind from how strong that bread aroma is in most Subways.
Mm,
And you spent all day with that aroma wafting through the air.
hmm.
You're torch. You're not going to pick
Yeah.
up the nuances of Tom Ford on
Hmm.
like on your collar anytime soon.
Yeah. You know what, Ty? Like, whenever I think of like, or I observe some kind of like business that has a very distinct smell, or like, even if it comes up in conversation, like for example, a mechanic probably smells like oil or grease or whatever, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Sandwich artists obviously they smell like bread.
Hmm.
If you work at a burger shop, you probably smell like burning fries. You know what I mean? I always like picture this in the person coming home to me. You know what I mean? That's like my partner. I'm like, wow, like that. I feel bad for that partner because they gotta like pick up their girl from Five Guys,
Hmm.
and then it's like you smell like peanuts and like beef,
Damn.
and then like that sucks. Like that actually sucks. And for some reason,
Hmm.
that always comes to mind, right, when I like see these places.
Yeah, I totally. I'm like, but I don't want my girl working at Five Guys. That's too many guys.
Too many guys there. I
Too
don't
many
feel
guys.
like I'm too insecure to have my girl work at Five Guys. Okay.
You're
Uh,
right though. Like, shout out to the SOs on this podcast that are listening because you have to deal with all the aromatic burdens of your partner's occupation, and you get none of the pay.
exactly. You get none of the pay, but you still have to like smell the hospital on your partner when they come home.
Damn,
Like that
kind of whack.
sucks.
Like, imagine like you smell your partner's pillow, and it just like smells like I don't know the mall.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, that sucks, but I do want to hear, about your recent subway activation, Ty, because you teased it on the episode last week, or I guess earlier this week. But you said you were going to a brand new subway opening. I tried really hard to find information on this subway opening, and it just doesn't exist online. Like, there should be a website where you just like you can like sort all the subway locations by open date.
Date
Um,
added.
exactly, date created,
Hmm.
and I couldn't find it. So, but then I saw that you went. So, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's so early that it doesn't even have online presence yet. But for the breadheads that missed the previous episode, this Subway is just opened in my neighborhood. It's actually so close to my apartment that it is the closest business to my house now. I have to walk by it to go to any other commercial business. Uh, I think it's fate. Maybe what they did. Here's actually first my prediction is that
Oh shit!
I think that
I know
Big
this is
Way
going.
has a like geo targeting tool for determining new locations to open, and they're like listening online for keywords and then geofencing like the areas where the most keywords are, and then using that as a mechanism for determining where new locations might be successful. And because
Hmm.
of 2.5 years of podcasting with you on this, I think that the like 3 block radius around my apartment has said the word subway a like absurd amount relative to your average like suburban city block.
Yeah,
So
you're
I think that's
absolutely right. And I think we probably even hit on some trigger words for Subway as well.
mm-hmm.
Because if you think about it, it's like we know too much. So when we say words like bread retarder or sneeze guard, Subway probably hears that and think, wow, not only is there interest in Subway in this geographic region, but there might be some Subway experience in this geographic region as well. Who knows? Maybe if we put up some hiring signs, then
Mm-hmm.
these two guys will come on by and apply.
Mm-hmm. This neighborhood is both the perfect Venn diagram where both the patron and the artist overlap. I
Hmm.
I'm sure they're also got their feelers out there looking for a string of words like I don't know how many times I've said to you, "You're making me so hungry," and that pings a lot of alarms at Subway because that means there's an unmet need in this neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. Good design solves a problem, and Subway is infiltrating this neighborhood because it's hungry. This is a hungry neighborhood.
Hungry, hungry neighborhood.
Wow,
Yeah. So
incredible. So, what happened at this place? Did you go? Did you eat there?
Yeah, so I was part of the grand opening. I snipped a little
Oh
green and yellow
shit.
banner with a bread knife. I had to saw through it. It was very dull.
Did you cut it in the middle, or did you like do it like 3 inches on the other
I
side?
did a few inches to the side in honor of the way. But no, that wasn't actually the case. I wasn't invited to the grand opening despite my clout in the industry. Bit of a miss on Subway's part, but that's
Honestly,
okay.
yeah.
I forgive them. So they went with the new store design layout, the more like progressive we got the big like glowing green logo on the wall. It's very like clinical and clean. The ceilings are the highest ceilings I've ever seen in a subway, Eric. I'm not really
Wow.
getting the like villa in Tuscany vibe. I'm getting like a it really feels like I'm at an office lobby a little bit. And because the
Hmm.
ceilings are so high, like they're like 30-foot ceilings, I'm thinking, in this subway. The
Wow.
way they've positioned the menu is not your typical angle. They put it like really high up because they put it like in the middle of the wall. They like
Hmm.
wanted to have it like vertically centered the menu to the wall. So when I
Hmm.
was like trying to read it, I had to cock my head like a 70-degree angle in order to be able to target the words on the menu, but they were so high up and so small. I really was relying on muscle memory. So like you
Wow.
look way up and then you look down at the ingredients and then way up, you're really getting some interesting neck actions happening there. You're like risking a cramp.
Wow. That's crazy. So like when you go to like a friend's house and they like mounted their TV too high and you're like constantly like craning your neck upwards just to watch Friends. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? It's like really uncomfortable. So you're saying Subway implemented the same thing?
Hmm. That's literally it. Like I had the exact same problem watching Emily in Paris the other night at friend's place, but the I don't know why they would even think that was appropriate. I mean, like, actually, I do understand. They don't really use your text, but
Hmm.
clearly,
Clearly they don't listen to their fans.
no.
Wow. So okay. What
Not
is
a.
with what is with this like new design though? Because is it because they moved away from the Tuscan vibes,
Mhm.
the ancient Roman like villa interior, because and they moved towards this new like clinical office vibe? Is it because like the modern workplace is the new Colosseum? Is
Wow.
it because we're slaughtering each other now, to get up the corporate ladder versus I don't know, being able to like have the hottest chick?
Yeah, maybe. I think it's just like the death of the old world, the rise of the new world, you know? Like,
Hmm.
everyone wants to work in a Silicon Valley WeWork. They don't want to work in like a uh, a factory or an o-
Hmm.
an auto body, even though their clientele's an auto body shop. Maybe that's actually it. You know? There's
Yeah,
like
what's with that? There's not enough like neon signs for it to be feel relevant to today. Like there's no sign that says like brunch a gang or some, or some shit like that.
yeah,
Or like mimosa time or something like that. It needs one of those neon signs to feel like today's restaurant.
totally. I wanted
So
to say like add some guac in a script font.
exactly. I want there to be a guac button that I can just smash. Some smashed guac. Smashed avo.
Hmm.
Okay, so walk me through your order, Ty. Did you eat at this place?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm not gonna just walk in and walk out. Uh, it
I
was
mean, totally
pretty.
reasonable actually to walk in, Ty, take one look at the bins, and make a judgment call there. But it sounds like everything was looking crispy.
Yeah. So before I even got up to the line, I have to share with you the patrons of the subway. I was not the very first one through the door. I didn't want to stay up all night for the opening release party. But so there were a few other clients roaming about, sandwich in hand. I
Mhm.
knew that the franchisee owner, whose name is Paul, by the way, had made a good decision opening this business because when I was walking up, left window and right window to the door, there were two guys in reflective vests eating on both sides.
Oh shit.
And when I walked in further, I noticed the man to my left, he was like completely covered in paint. Like he just had so much paint on his body. He was a painter for sure.
Oh
So
wow.
like the blue collar guys sniffed that out real fast. But then Eric, as I walk in and take in this high ceilinged establishment, I counted not just the two, but 14 men in reflective vests in Subway.
Oh,
Most of them had hard hats on while they were eating.
holy shit. Is there like a construction site like next door? Like
There,
what is
there
going
is
on here?
one. There's one around the corner, and I think they swarmed here like bees on a flower patch.
Wow. So not only is it the closest business to you, but it's probably the closest business to this like beehive of
Hmm.
buzzing little construction guys.
They were buzzing around. Man, I felt like I was at the annual convention of men with dirty hands who didn't wash them before eating.
Why would you? It adds a little bit of umami to the sandwich.
It sure does. Yeah, I've
Wow,
never seen so many construction workers in one Subway. It was
that's
so
actually
weird.
incredible. So did it look like they were all from the same place, or were they,
I have to
styled
assume.
differently?
There's like a few different garbs. I noticed it's really common to wear the hoodie under the reflective vest, but then put the hood on your head and keep your helmet over top of that.
Oh
So
yeah.
you almost have like a second layer of skin. And it's so weird. Like on lunch break, these types of dudes don't get rid of any of their attire. Like I walk into Subway, I take my jacket off, and I'm trying to find a coat hook, or I'm waiting for the maitre d' to take it to the back. But these guys are like, they got the steel toes on, the Dickies, they got the reflective vest so that you know they're there. I can't believe they don't even remove the hard hat. Like,
Yeah.
bonk. What did they
We
worry about?
literally, now that I think about it, we did that at our dinner activation. We kept our jackets with us and our bags with us.
Hmm.
And that was very, very working class of us to do. More on that later, though. I want to finish this Subway talk.
Yeah, good call. Okay. So pretty surprised with the patronage. Get up to the line, quick scan of the veggies, cock my head up, quick scan of the menu. Everything looks pretty normal. A little too normal, I might add, Eric. The lettuce was already looking kind of brown, and so were the cucumbers looking a little too wet. And I thought, the Subway just get the vegetables bad? Like this restaurant just opened, and the vegetables are starting to look a little spoiled. It doesn't make any sense.
Hmm. Huh, interesting. Well, maybe it's like to your comment earlier, where even if a subway truck doesn't stop at this subway, it'll go to the next one. And so, it's the same source. Like the problem is like affecting everyone. The virus is spread
Hmm.
regardless. Doesn't
Right.
matter how young or old you are.
Right. The vegetables rot from the head down, and in this case, we're talking about the head of the company directing which vegetables go where.
Wow.
Uh,
What a rotten bunch over there at HQ.
yeah, they need to
Oh.
rip up that ground and replant, I think.
Mhm. Who's
Replant.
more rotten? Who's more rotten, Ty? HQ at Subway or HQ at Anshore?
Oh, damn. Anshore for sure. Her dropping us as a sponsor.
Mhm.
So I ordered my footlong, Eric, and I tried to keep it as standard and simple as possible for the artist. I didn't want to. Typically, as you know, I love novelty on my footlong, but I
Oh
made the
yeah.
conscious effort not to do too many weird ass shit because this was you can only order from a brand new Subway for the first time once, and I wanted to see how well they worked with just a typical brief.
Hmm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Good
So
call. I mean, you want to make them like, you know, practice a little bit first. Start small, start simple, and then
mhm.
by the 10th time you go there, you're gonna really make them work. And I
Mhm.
like that approach.
Yeah, it's
Do you
on
plan on
brand.
going there up to 10 times?
I'm thinking up to 10 times a month. I'm thinking with this type of convenience.
Yeah, dude. I one of these lunch hours, I gotta make my way out to you, and we're gonna hit up this new subway because I need to see this mausoleum floor plan for myself.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm also really if we can plan between 12:30 and 1 p.m. I'm sure you'll get a real hard hat treat as well.
Yeah, dude. 1:30 between 1:30 and 11:30 a.m. That's like the early lunch graveyard shift. They actually come for dinner, which is kind of interesting to watch.
Yeah. I'm sure like if you miss the lunch rush, then I wouldn't recommend wearing your Margiela shoes because there's like a lot of mud caked on the floor after the running of the bowls.
Fear not, Ty. I'll bring my Gore-Tex Solomon boots. And yeah, they've got good tread for this exact thing. Don't worry.
Love it. Damn, born in the mud.
Mud boy.
You're so funny. I haven't heard that track in a while. So the sandwich artists put together my typical veggie footlong, regular veg, regular sauce, nothing too wild. But the whole time that they were doing it, Eric, they were so stoked to be making my sandwich. Like we were both just smiling and we're like, we're doing this together. We're making a footlong. And it was kind of wholesome. And I realized that our prediction, we hypothesized this in a previous episode, that a new grad from Sandwich University has not been their positivity about the world has not yet been eroded by making thousands and thousands of inches of sandwich. And that's what we got. We got people that are fresh and innocent. They were thinking fresh, Eric.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're right. They were barely legal employees.
Barely.
Right for the right to learn, just ready to get right in there and put some brown lettuce on your brown bun.
They're doing it with a smile. I mean, I'm probably contributing to the erosion of their positivity because I skipped the tip button at the end. And a few more pages like that, and they'll be become walking zombies.
I mean, you're right about that. So you ordered a sandwich. What did you get? Did you get a
Veggie delight, baby, and it was delightful.
Wow. Okay. So rank the sandwich out of 10 because you've had several veggie delights in your lifetime. Where did this one, stack up?
Well, this little afternoon delight was maybe an 8 out of 10. I'd say like the best veggie delights I've ever had, they cap out at like a 9. There's a there's a grass ceiling on the lettuce in a footlong.
Yeah, there's a garden rooftop, like, blocking the sandwich from being a 10 out of 10. And that's just the name of the game because you will never hit peak freshness in a Subway. You'll have to bring your bread all the way to the farm in order to hit a 10, and it's not going to happen. Yeah, dude, that's fun.
Yeah, you're guaranteed a fresher sandwich if you just like put some lawnmower clippings in your footlong and bite into that. But it was still really good. I have my critique of the footlong, Eric, was that it wasn't toasted enough. But I don't think this is the sandwich artist at this particular location's fault. I actually think that this is an industry problem. I've noticed. Have you noticed this, Eric? They're toasting less.
Huh. I did notice this.
Like every time I've been in the last year or two, like the sandwiches, the bread keeps getting softer.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good observation. I thought it was me because at the same time that this probably happened, I was toasting my sandwich less. You know what I mean? I was hitting a cold sandwich wave all summer 2022.
That's right.
I haven't been since then. So I literally haven't had a Subway since probably the summertime, Ty. Or I don't know, maybe the breadheads who listen every week and let me know. But yeah, I think it was also partially my fault that it was a softer experience.
You think you accidentally biased them with your taste buds?
I'm a tastemaker at Subway, Thai, and they saw what I was doing and they were like, you know what, let's mimic that.
You can't control trend. Trend goes its own way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fair enough. But I'm hoping that the pendulum shifts a little bit back to toasty coming in out of this cold winter. It's cold out there. I want a hot sandwich. I want a crispy sandwich. I like a nice crunch, especially when you're just eating like cucumbers and tomatoes, like and pickles. The crunch really adds a contrast that I desperately need to feel fulfilled.
You're absolutely correct. So Ty, when you surprised me by sending me a photo of you going to Subway, I couldn't help but notice in the photo there was someone being arrested. This looked like it was out directly outside the Subway because I saw a Volpe poster And then on the other side of the poster, through the glass, was the 12. And I'm not talking about 12 inches. I'm talking about the popo. They were, making someone bend over and putting cuffs on them. Can you explain that?
Yeah, dude, this is insane. I posted up at the window table previously occupied by a man with a tool belt. I had to like napkin wipe off a little bit of spilt, like it looked like coolant, not really sure. Coolant or Kool-Aid, could have been either. And of course, I sit down and unwrap my beautiful footlong. I hear the siren sound of a siren outside, and
Whoop,
sure
whoop.
enough, a cop pulls over a vehicle right in front of us. So I'm just like sitting there in the window, just watching this cop like winding on the sneeze guard of the vehicle and poking his little head in there, and it just felt so right. Like, of course, the like police officer is going to pull this munch over right outside the subway because then he could just leave the lights on and come in afterwards for a vehicle.
That's
Like two
true.
bird, two 6 inches, one pullover.
Wow. So did he pop in right after? Did he, leave the car running and say, "Let me get a fucking 6 inch while for my troubles?"
I know better than to stick around for that. I vacated the premises right away. I don't need any kind of accidental strays or run-ins with the law right now, Eric. I'm on the run,
Hmm.
you see.
Yeah, exactly. This guy's got the runs from Subway, so
Hmm.
he is not able to stay and watch. He's got to get out of there ASAP.
Yep, that's what I
Wow,
meant.
dude. Well, that's great. Thanks for the story time. Happy that you are okay,
Hmm.
both internally and externally.
Hmm.
Um, I will probably, come and visit sometime soon and hit up the way with you. Or maybe I'll just, buy a sandwich and then eat it. Like, I'll be like, look outside your window, and I'll be like at the bench, like eating my sandwich or something.
Damn. I want you to stand outside my apartment window and hold a foot long in the air.
It's like that Travis Scott gif where he's like holding the microphone stand. He's like, ah, there's
Yeah.
like flames behind him. I'll doing that with my foot long, my giant party sub.
Hell yeah. You know how to serenade me.
Hmm. We're actually have this like unique opportunity right now where they've never made a party sub. This Subway has never made a party sub. Probably who
You'd be
orders
the
that
first
shit?
one.
We
Yeah,
need
I'm
to,
sure it's
yeah, we
once
could
a
be the
year
first
they get
one.
one. I love that idea. I let's look into that, Eric. I think that'd be pretty funny.
This could be a think fresh expense, and I'm always down to spend from our corporate budget, Ty.
Shout out to BlendJet for sponsoring us and ensuring that we can continue to have other people put food on our table.
Hmm.
We should talk about this, Eric. Actually, we had a wonderful dinner the other night. We foreshadowed it in our previous episode. We were attempting
Hmm.
to go to Michelin-starred Kisatanto in Chinatown, Vancouver. Eric, do you want to give the Breadheads an update on what happened there?
Yeah, I mean, Breadheads, as you know, we record this beautiful podcast on Tuesdays and Fridays. We post it immediately after, no proofreads. You get it raw, uncut every day.
Mm-hmm.
You get the full foot long, no edits.
No.
And of course, off the cuff, we're talking about how we're going to hit up this Michelin star restaurant. It's going to be a movie, et cetera, et cetera. We stop recording, hit publish, drive over to Kisa Tanto, and they've got the anti-homeless person metal gate strung across the front door. And we're like, oh fuck, it's closed. And we look online, it's closed Tuesdays. So I can only assume that they close on Tuesdays so they can, listen to this episode,
Mm-hmm.
in peace, listen
Mm-hmm.
to our show. But yeah, it was not an option for us at all. And that's probably why they didn't have any reservations on Open Table.
Yeah, you think Open Table would disclose this information, but
I know, yeah.
huh.
Typical stupid app not having the right states built into their design system.
This doesn't feel like an edge case. This feels like a very common. This is an every Tuesday type situation for them.
Exactly. Not just for them, but for most places.
Mm-hmm.
So thinking quickly on our feet, much like when you are hitting the veggie section, you got to think quick because you never plan for what's going to happen ahead of that. We
Mm-hmm.
drove over to Savio Volpe, had our nice little dinner. Um, it was awesome. We ate vegetarian. Ty, do you want to tell them about the drinks? The drink
Oh,
ordering?
Yeah, the drink program at Savio Volpe it was okay. I attempted to order a cocktail. The actual request to the um, barista was um, a cocktail that tastes like a sandwich, and he said they would try to make it happen. I watched him go to the other side of the room, speak quickly with the bartender. They exchanged words. He came back, straight faced, gave me nothing, poker face, and then he disclosed that the mixology team would not be able to fulfill the request. Very disappointing.
Hmm.
Lost the tip.
Hmm. Yeah, there was like a really weird tension with Ty and I and our gay waiter. It was a really weird tension. You could cut it with a Leslie bread knife,
Hmm.
but yeah, he was like unsure of what to make of us.
He couldn't pin us down.
He really couldn't pin us down, Ty. I don't think he could ever figure out whether or not we were fucking with him or we were like just idiots.
Or hitting on him, who knows?
Exactly. So we were asking for like crazy requests, like, yeah, we want a sandwich inspired cocktail. He just stared at us blankly, was like, "Are you serious? Like a sandwich that you eat?" And he was like asking like several clarifying questions, and we were seated at the bar, so of course we saw this entire interaction go down, and our poor little barista just couldn't fulfill our request, much like Shane from Amex.
Yeah, more getting more disappointed by the frontline workers these days, but it's okay. I think like
Mhm.
everything about our presence in that room kind of messed with him. Like he would keep coming up to interrupt us to like pour more sparkling water, and you and I would be like whispering and like writing on our notepad, and then we both look up like he just like moths when you turn the light on. And then he'd like clearly see all we're writing is like merch ideas for Think Fresh.
Oh, I know. I actually do think about this a lot. Like when we're like three Aperol spritzes deep, and we're like, we're linking and building. Ty, we're just like riffing ideas. We're probably quite loud,
Hmm.
and this guy's listening to our conversation as he's walking up to us, and he has to like cut us off in order to like take our order for some rigatoni. He's probably
Hmm.
like looking at the notepad, seeing like OnlyFans catfish. Like it's like just
Go fund me,
ways.
dying artist.
Yeah, exactly. Ways to make some passive income as podcasters. Oh man,
Mm,
looking back at that night, I'm just so happy it took place.
me too. Yeah, it was really an idea in cucumberbation room. And we got a lot of big things coming in 2023, Breadheads. This was our like every tech startup has their like annual all hands where they bring everyone together. This was the Think Fresh Con.
Exactly. Except we need to make this con a QBR, Ty. We
Mm,
need to do a quarterly check-in, just to, connect on our top line metrics, what I mean, making sure that we
mhm.
are generating revenue, and cutting costs by not purchasing any recording equipment whatsoever.
That's super smart. Yeah, keep our costs low. Never upgrade our equipment. AirPods only.
Hmm.
Every 3 inches. I mean months. That's a great call.
Absolutely. I actually think our waiter at the end started to come around.
Hmm.
Like, he realized that we were maybe fucking with him at the beginning, but that's just us, and it's not nothing to do with him. You know what I mean? And then
Hmm.
once we included him in the jokes, I think at the end he started to really like us because he brought by 2 shots of limoncello for
Hmm.
free. It was on the house, and
Their
we
house
toasted.
sauce.
It was our house sauce, and we toasted to our successful company, Think Fresh,
Hmm.
and that was about it. We should have told him that we had a Subway podcast, and then maybe he would have understood why. Um, this is actually a really funny experiment. Like, imagine we come by later with like some friends or like business partners, and they're like, "Oh, hey, it's the Subway podcast guys," and then
Hmm.
our guests are like, "What the fuck?"
Damn, yeah, this is why
Uh,
when the word gets out, it can be fame is both a blessing and a curse.
especially after we, made pepinos our number one op.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah,
just they, you know, restaurants talk. They gossip like girls do. So.
totally. Because they got like the dishwashers and the hosts moving between them all. You know, it's a small industry.
Exactly. Small world.
Yeah, but
But
great
yeah, that
meal
was our dinner.
overall, right? Yeah, really
Oh,
good
dude,
pasta
fantastic.
program. Oh yeah. Didn't have even enough space for dolce, but got into a little bit of espresso at the end there too. It was
Oh
fun to
yeah.
like double fist limoncello and espresso.
hmm That the garlicky pesto one with burrata, it's the taste is still in my mouth, Ty. That garlic,
Mm,
that garlic really did a number on me, and I love
yeah,
it.
I'm gonna be craving pesto all weekend now. I might have to make my own with some nutritionally spinach and walnuts.
Ty, you know what? That squash side dish we had, I've also
Damn.
been thinking about that since then, and how I was like at the point of consuming that. I had a few drinks and I was thinking like, what is this hot dog? Like, we did not order this hot dog, and then I just like took my fork and like, you know, cut a corner off of it, and it was like soft because it's squash, and it blew me away. Ty, I was like, what is this dog?
Yo, it did look like a hot dog. I've never seen a squash that shape. And it threw me off too. And it's because my toxic trait at restaurants is responding dealer's choice to any question the server asks me. And that's how we ended up with squash. I didn't even know it was coming.
Oh, I think when you say dealer's choice, Ty, I think there's like you have to be clear. You want the chef to make the recommendation. I think you got to update your answer to be like, "I'll take whatever the chef recommends," because then they can't
Mm,
write it down. They have to like they can't decide. You know what I mean? I don't want the waiter's pick. I want fucking Bobby Flay to tell me what to eat.
hell yeah. Can you imagine doing that as Subway? You're like, franchise owner's choice when they ask about vegetables. They're
Yeah.
like, you need to call your boss.
Everyone's got a boss, Ty, and I want to speak to your boss.
I want to speak to your boss. I am your
Yeah.
boss.
No, I'm your
You're on
boss.
thin ice.
No, buddy, I'm the lead host of this show. I'm holding the phone in my hand right now, Ty.
Yeah, that's because you can't afford AirPods, dummy. Because I'm not paying you enough.
No, it's just this little cubicle that I'm in right now is really echoey, and the best way to do it is talk directly to the people, Ty.
I see, I see.
Yeah,
Well, we can be co-bosses.
that's true. Is that a partnership?
I think it's a rare mineral, a co-boss.
uh, well, Ty, I think that that about concludes the episode today.
Mhm.
I'll be hitting the gym now and listening to the new Yachty album.
Nice. I will be hitting a can of Budweiser, king sized,
Oh,
and
yeah.
listening to the new Yachty album. So I'll see you on the other side.
You on the other side. Have a great weekend at Breadheads. Use code Breadhead12. You know who we named that after? You guys.
See you.
Blendjet.com. 12% off.
Don't let us
Breadhead12.
down. Breadhead 12. All right. Think fresh, everybody. Ciao.
Fresh. Peace.